Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Ben Brust alongside Packer backer Kyle Wallace and Super Bowl 50 runner-up Brad Nortman, Chris Larson running the show. UKBN Nation can chime in, and we want to hear your thoughts at 800-990-3776 because we are very excited to welcome in the Bachelorette of the NFL. Her name is Michelle Smallmon. You hear her on ESPN Radio, on Unsportsmanlike with Evan Cohen and Chris Canty. Michelle, welcome to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And, as we take a look here, I see Evan Cohen had tweeted out at FCO Radio on Twitter X that you have 6 finalists: Packers, Bengals, 49ers, Jets, Dolphins, and Bears. And as my fiance is from St. Louis, she considers herself a free agent as well. Is this stemming from no Rams from where you're from?
Of course. We had the Rams and we had great times in the early beginning stages of our relationship. Obviously, a few years after they come to St. Louis, they win a Super Bowl. We have the greatest show on turf, the best, most high-powered offense in the history of the NFL. Things went pretty south after that. We had some bad years, some losing years, and all the while, Stan Kroenke and ownership was dangling the carrot about the team moving. It was some dark times, and then they ultimately pulled the plug. And a lot of people in St. Louis felt really badly about the way things went down. They were bitter. Some of them swore the NFL off forever, but I feel left out. I have FOMO. I miss being an NFL football fan. So I'm ready to open up my heart, let my guard down, and love again. It's finally time.
Oh, Michelle, we're so thankful to have you on, and so thankful that the Packers are amongst the 6 that are the finalists to win your heart and to win your fanhood. And in the Bachelorette, usually, you look at all the other bachelors and you're like, gosh, there's a lot of good-looking dudes around here. But I look at the final 6 and I see the Jets and the Bears, and I think, wait a minute, what are those guys doing here? They're not as attractive as everyone else. How did the Jets and the Bears make the final 6?
You are not alone in that thought process, specifically when it comes to the New York Jets. I've been getting messages, tweets, DMs all day being like, how are the Jets in the final 6? But I'll give you my explanation on both. So I live in New York City now, and I don't have a local team. I've been here now for 2 years. Who knows how long I'll be living in New York. And I would love to have some connection to this chapter in my life. CeCe obviously won a Super Bowl with the Giants. Our producer, Nuno, is also a Giants fan. So it feels like we have the Giants covered on the show. And I hate to say this to you 3 and to your audience, but I said that Aaron Rodgers was going to be the NFL MVP this year.
Oh, wow.
So I have a little bit of a take integrity there, a stake in Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. So it feels like if I was ever going to jump on board with them, now is the time, which is why they got a slot in the final 6. And when it comes to the Bears, again, this is probably not going to win me any fans in the great state of Wisconsin, but I'm from Illinois. I'm a St. Louis girl because I'm from the Metro East area, but I'm from the Illinois side of the river. I went to Illinois. I already have a ton of orange and blue in my closet, and it feels like it would be a good fit to have a team in the land of Lincoln be my NFL team.
85, that's all I got to say.
Michelle, it is okay for you to have those thoughts and opinions, right? Because you're playing the field. You're open. But I want to tell you this. I just want to set you up. I'm a Packer backer, and we have room on our bandwagon because it's a big old bandwagon, Michelle. And I want to start by telling you also is that what Stan Kroenke did to you, disdain for him, complete disdain for him, and I stand with you, but I offer you an opportunity to stand with us. Stand with Jordan Love. That Aaron Rodgers you just talked about, old news. Jordan Love, better than Aaron Rodgers. You would love watching him throw touchdown passes to Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, and Tay Wicks. And then on top of that, you know what else we have? We have one of the greatest fan bases of all time. You like cheese? We can put it on your head with us in Green Bay. I'm telling you, there is nothing better than being a Packers fan. And then on top of that, championships. Do you like winning?
I love it. Who doesn't? Isn't that the whole point of this thing is to win?
Well, you know who
you got the Jets and the Bears on there, so I don't know. You tell us.
Out of all those teams, the most consistent one winning is the Green Bay Packers. And the last question I asked, do you like America?
Oh,
I love America.
Well, we are America's real team, so join America's team right here in Green Bay.
So I like this. I got where Kyle's going here. I actually think as a show, what we can offer up is Kyle. as you talked about what the owner of the Rams did to Michelle in her heart, she has an opportunity that we can maybe offer her.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying here?
Yes.
You can become an owner of the Green Bay Packers. You can go to shareholders meetings. You can feel a part of an organization. You can have transparency. You can be a part of those meetings. Kyle, you went to a shareholder meeting. We could even get a GoFundMe for the Michelle Smallmon shareholder purchase that you can have. You can be an owner of your team after what happened to you in St. Louis. What do you say?
That is music to my ears. If you can't beat them, join them. Why not get a seat at the table with somebody who did you wrong, right? I actually love the thought of that. Part of the reason
let me tell you real quick, Michelle.
Oh, go ahead.
We don't get a seat at the table with the big heads. We just get a chair at the.
Don't tell her that.
Bleachers. It's bleachers.
I don't want her thinking she's gonna pay $250 and then all of a sudden she gets to look Stan Kroenke and I want to sell her that dream.
Oh, don't you worry about that. I'll take a little chair at the kids' table. I already had my opportunity to look Stan Kroenke in the eye and express my disdain for him, so I feel good about that. But I do love the idea of being an owner, and more importantly, being part of an organization where I don't have to have that fear that this team could be ripped away from me yet again. The Packers are the only team in the NFL that could provide me that level of security.
Michelle, have you met the parents, a.k.a. have you been to Lambeau Field before?
I have. So a couple years ago, I'm a big experience person. I love to give gifts to people, and I'm a big experience person. I'm very close with my dad. He's the reason that I love sports. And a couple years ago for Christmas, I said, Lambeau is a sports cathedral. We have to go. So I surprised him with tickets to a Packers game. We went, I believe it was in November, and it was amazing. It was one of the best sports experiences I've ever had. As soon as we got there, everybody could tell that we weren't really Packers fans, that we were just there to observe and to be there for the game day and to sense the vibes. Everybody was so welcoming. They folded us into their tailgates. As soon as we sat down, everybody was asking us questions, high-fiving us. It was an amazing experience that I would love to relive.
Oh my goodness, you can relive it every day, all day as a Packers fan.
As Michelle Smallmon of Unsportsmanlike joins us here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. She is the Bachelorette of the NFL, trying to find the love of her life in the NFL here. I think maybe we jumped the gun just a little bit because I think an important thing that we need to know is what qualities are you looking for, right? I haven't been on a first date, and God knows, none of us have, and God knows how long. So, we're jumping the shark here. What are you most interested in? What are those qualities that you look for in a team?
Well, first and foremost, I want stability because the Rams did not provide us that. As soon as Stan Kroenke took over, it was turmoil, it was chaos, it was a disaster. So that's why some of the teams I eliminated early on were teams with owners that I just don't feel like I could trust. So stability is great. You obviously have that. I want to feel wanted because after Stan Kroenke brutally ripped the Rams from St. Louis, he torched our city. He had all of this all these negative things to say about St. Louis. And you just could tell that he didn't want to be there. He didn't want us. So I want a fan base that wants me to be there and that is going to welcome me in. The Packers have been nothing but welcoming and lovely to me. And of course, I want tradition and I want a team that's going to win. So really, the Packers are checking every single box. I've been enamored
4 for 4
at the beginning of this thing.
And then, Michelle, I'm going to tell you this. This is the reason why you should do it. You listed all the reasons why we're the perfect match. But what's better than actually being able to listen to this song as we travel to New Orleans this February for the Super Bowl? You could be singing Green and Yellow. Don't you want to sing Green and Yellow with Lil Wayne and all the other Packers fans across America?
That sounds like a dream, honestly. I love Lil Tucci. We could be singing it together.
Go, Pack, go!
You ready? You got to say it with us.
One more time, Chris.
I can't. Not until I give a final rose. I can't do that.
Wow. You
go, Pack, go!
Are you an avid Bachelorette watcher?
I've never really watched the show, but I had to watch it for research purposes. I watched Bachelorette clips, and I watched Love Island.
Yeah.
I needed to see how this process works, how you get thrown into a process with all of these prospects, and you whittle down the candidates. So I've been watching a little bit in preparation of making this decision. And one thing I noticed in watching some of these shows is people are really pressed about their decisions. And I thought, yeah, is that really how they feel? Is this all made for TV? I am so stressed about this, I can't even tell you guys. I have lost sleep over this because I am an Italian Midwestern girl. I'm incredibly loyal. So as soon as I pick this team, this is my team forever. This is the team for the rest of my life. So I need to make sure I get this right.
What if I told you that the city of Green Bay was holding the 2025 NFL draft, and through our, I don't know, I'd say, our relationships that we have, we can maybe guarantee some sort of, I don't know, love at the NFL draft as a part of your I guess this is for this year. Coming into this could be a championship season. Then you at the NFL draft, we have some houses with all you can eat, all you can drink. You can have a party and experience at the shadow of Lambeau Field. We can even throw things out there as part of you just being a love of the Green Bay Packers.
It starts with love.
You guys are speaking my language. Can I tell you my only reservation about the Packers?
Of course. We're here to take that away.
We're listeners, actively listening.
I love this. Okay, let's talk this out. Like, this is football therapy for me. So since the outset of this, as I mentioned, the Packers have been checking every single box. It almost feels too good to be true.
Yeah, we are
the
baddie.
Only reservation I have about the only reservation I have about the Packers is that it feels like you guys are too good. Like, you always have the quarterback, you have the history. Does it feel like I'm jumping on to a franchise that is so stable that it doesn't feel fair for me to jump on with you guys? That's the only thing I'm concerned about.
Well, I can answer that as a Packer fan, a lifelong Packer fan. It may seem that way, and we are. We haven't won a Super Bowl since 2011. It's been a long, long time. This is the time to jump on where you're not jumping on a bandwagon because we're great. You're jumping on because you see potential.
And to add to that, what you get with the Green Bay Packers that you don't get with any other franchise is over the last 30 years, Kyle just mentioned, there's been 2 Super Bowls. One of the best parts about being a fan is feeling alive. And every season as a Green Bay Packers fan, you will feel alive. You will feel like you have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. And that doesn't mean you're jumping on to a dynasty. That just means you're jumping on for a ride. There's going to be heartbreak. There's going to be huge moments. There's going to be success. You are going to feel every emotion. And we live this one life. If you are going to be a fan of one team, the Green Bay Packers will take you on an emotional ride that'll be worth every second of it when you hold that Lombardi up virtually.
Yeah, and Michelle, to drive that point home, don't settle. Just don't settle.
Brad played for the Jags and the Panthers.
Yeah,
he knows settling.
Hey, I still love my Jags and Panthers, but let me tell you one thing. Doesn't matter if you're tying the knot or giving the rose or picking your life's fanhood. This is a one-time decision. Do not settle. You shoot for the best. I know you will, because I know you're going to pick the Green Bay Packers.
These are all good points. You guys are really making this difficult for me. You're really driving home everything I already feel.
And don't listen to David Kaplan. He's the clown of our show. He called Justin Fields the best quarterback in the NFC North last year. And, I do have one for you. Evan Cohen, Scott Van Pelt, you've had the opportunity to work aside both of them. Who is more fun to work with, Evan Cohen or Scott Van Pelt?
Well, to be fair, I only worked with SVP one time when he filled in with Russillo, and he was lovely to work with. SVP is everything that you think he is and more. But Evan Cohen's my guy. I work with Evan every day. He's the absolute best. So no shade to SVP, but I'm always going to pick my teammate, Evan Cohen.
Oh, okay. You ain't gotta butter it up. We keep it real in Packerland. Evan's okay.
Michelle,
you get that loyalty from me too as a Packers fan. See, by joining, I get that same amount of loyalty.
Blind loyalty. I love it.
So does this mean we made it to the hometowns?
You'll have to tune in 2 weeks and find out. But let's just say you're leaving me incredibly intrigued.
That is Michelle Smallmon of Unsportsmanlike. She is the Bachelorette of the NFL. If you have any other questions that come up, the phone lines are always open. You have a direct line to all of our fans as they're offering you tickets to the Wisconsin-Alabama game. You can parlay that. Like that's the hospitality that you will get in Wisconsin. People in Wisconsin love Wisconsin. I grew up in Illinois as well. I chose to live here because I love this place. You will feel that same way when you select the rose for the Green Bay Packers. Thank you for your time, Michelle.
Thank you guys for having me.
Go, Pack, go! That's Michelle Smallmon of Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio. We sealed the deal. It's done. It's done.
She's a future Packer backer.
Yeah, you can hear it.
And we can probably get her set up with Gina Della from Pella and get her Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
I mean, if there's any way to seal the deal, it's that, Ben. And tell you what, talking about sealing the deal, talking about high-quality product, the best product, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, getting that at an affordable rate. Now you got my interest. And that's what Pella is offering you right now with this limited time deal. It's limited. It ends on August 31st of 0% interest for up to 60 months. 0% interest for 60 months. In this economy, how can they do it? I honestly don't know, but Pella Windows and Doors wants to offer you that right now. You have 10 days to take advantage of it, so act now. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Change the windows, change your doors, transform your house. 0% for 60 months. Visit PellaWI.com today.
More Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. On the other side, we react to our Riz for Michelle Smallmon to be a Packer fan next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Giannis does look like a longer, he beats on his body.